It was somewhere in the autumn of 2012 that I had already come back from Cho Oyu, and that is when I called upon myself with a challenge saying that till the time I do not summit something which is much more difficult than Cho Oyu, I will never go back. The only mountain which I could call upon or which I could think of at that particular stage was something which is incredibly more difficult than what I have yet attempted. So the only one in my knowledge was Makalu.
Makalu is much more difficult than Everest. In the sense वहाँ पे जो steep sections है वो बहुत लंबे हैं, वो 90 डिग्री वॉल्स है कहीं कहीं पे, तो आपके स्किल्स बहुत अच्छे होने चाहिए. वो आपने एक बार क्लाइंब किया तो आपका एक दर्जा ही फिर अलग से हो गया, एक रिस्पेक्ट का लेवल आपका अलग सा हो जाएगा.
There was this moment for the first time in my entire climbing history that I stopped and asked myself, do I really want to do this? And I looked around, I looked at the view. I had this moment when everything just flashed down on my eyes. Everything. I was like, I can't go back. Hello everyone, this is Arjun from Hillary Base Camp. We are at an altitude of 4,900 meters. The weather opened up today. We're feeling great. You can see Makalu back up there with a lot of sublimation clouds. If all goes well, we'll be on the summit of this mountain in about 4 weeks from now. Attempting Makalu 4 times is definitely a crazy thing, because the first year when we were there, we could not summit this mountain. We had to turn around about 120 meters short of the summit. We took the wrong left turn right above Camp 4, and we did not know what we were basically doing up there. We ran out of ropes. And you have to realize, like, the psyche which is going on in a mountaineer's mindset, like after 1 year, if you're not able to make it to the summit, you have to go back all the way. So it's a lot of intense and dynamic environment which you're in. Every second which you spend out there exposed. So basically now we're back on the mountain for a second attempt in 2014, and we start climbing. And in this whole process of acclimatization, rotations, we unfortunately lost a team member that year. Makalu had planned something different for us. This was the first time I was losing somebody who was with us on the expedition, who we had traveled with, who we knew, who we were sharing the tents with at base camp. This incident happening did put me into a straight perspective of life. My life has an expiry date to it. So the clock is ticking and it's not in my hands. So I've got to make the most of the moments which I have. So the third year again, our footsteps were stopped by the tragic earthquake in Nepal, and due to that it was very unstable and we had to return. Till right now we used to see one avalanche would come down from this phase or one, and you could hear the intensity of the sound and the ground shaking, But this time there were several avalanches, like there were about 100 dozen of them coming down from all around us, and you're just looking around in the valley. Thankfully at the platform which we were at had a much more slower, steeper path coming and joining to us. So we were just hopeful that if there's any avalanche from this way, it will slow down till the point it reaches us.
He never gave up at any point of time. It's a very a fighting जो spirit है उसकी. He'll do anything for it.
उसने मकालू जब 3 बार ऑलरेडी कर लिया था, वो क्या था उसको वापस ले गया. वो उसका ईगो नहीं था, वो बस उसकी सनक थी. उसको बस करना था. उसको समझ नहीं आ रहा था वो ये क्यों नहीं हो रहा मुझसे. उसको बस खत्म करना था क्योंकि वो पागल था, वो सन की है.
So now the 4th year comes by, 2016. Fresh year, fresh start, and we are back on Makalu. To put things in perspective, this is Makalu on the right hand side. From the camp we leave, we climb this glacier and then we enter into the snout region, up from there onto the real glacier and then up onto the ice wall towards Camp 1, Camp 2, Camp 3 on the Makalu La, going behind further into Camp 4, Makalu up there.
You don't conquer a mountain allows you to summit. So everybody who sets foot on a mountain has deep admiration and respect for its strength.
To continue climbing mountains was something which I learned on Makalu. Makalu made me into the mountaineer who I am today. Makalu made me into the person who I am today.
Every step makes you more humble, humanizes you. Every single step that you take.
After four long years, after 3 unsuccessful attempts, finally in the 4th attempt, we made it to the summit, and what can I say? That was the most beautiful day. Like, it was like my stairway to heaven. Thank you so much, everybody. Dreams do come true, and this is a live example of this. That's the summit of Makalu. Last final traverse left. Thank you so much, Mom. Thank you so much, Dad. Thank you so much, everybody. Talking from the 5th highest point on this earth.